Hey guys, Edre here, and today I am going to be reviewing the new Agust D mixtape, D-2. This is his first mixtape solo from BTS in about 4 years. I will say, compared to my last review, this will be relatively shorter, just because there's a lot less to unpack here, compared to my last review. This really follows through with much of the strengths of his sound to begin with. There isn't much show off here. There isn't much unique about this specifically that makes it stand out to me. So this review is going to be a bit quicker. I don't have as much to unpack. I will say, however, though, he opens up with a relatively solid opener, Moonlight. On this track, we see Agust D have a very solid, smooth flow, which is very nice to hear because I know he has the talent, I know he has the potential, and he delivers. This sort of rapping element really follows through on the second track, and it gives me a lot of throwbacks to the song Ugh on BTS's most recent album, Map of the Soul 7, one that I quite enjoyed. Overall, a lot of these tracks I do feel follow through a similar pattern, a similar stylistic trend here. It's pretty uniform sound here. There are some songs that I would say are a bit more accessible, a bit more on the pop side, but most of these are solid hip-hop tracks. I will say the production and the instrumental and the beats throughout this project are very immersive, keep on sucking me in to listen to time and time again. I quite enjoy that. I've always enjoyed the instrumentals of BTS, so it's not too unexpected that I would be enjoying the instrumentals of his solo project. However, I do feel like there's something a little bit too familiar about some of these tracks, something that I feel like I have heard before, and that's not necessarily the best thing because it takes away that uniqueness and it takes me out of some of that immersiveness that I have from the production if I've already feel like I've heard something like this before. I will say that some of the strongest tracks on here are the ones with features, especially the one with RM, which, I mean, that shouldn't be surprising, but they obviously work together well, and I think that the features on this album do boost this project up a good amount, does give it a more unique sound, something that I think a lot of these songs are missing. And, later on in the track list, we get some little interesting tidbits. The song 28 is a nice change of pace from the more energetic and aggressive, more rap songs. It's a nice change of pace, nice to slow things down a little. And at the very end of the album, it does get a little more pop-friendly with the song Dear My Friend. I think that is one of the stronger songs on here, but I think it has a nice little pop element that a lot of the songs on here don't have, so it does kind of change it up a little at the end, so I do enjoy that quite a bit. Needless to say, at the end of the day, I feel like there's not too much to unpack with this project simply because I feel like the sound on here has been done before by BTS multiple times, and I feel like he doesn't take any new unique spin on it. It's more just what it feels like to me as a bunch of material he wanted to get off his chest, so he decided to put it out now. At the end of the day, I still feel like overall him, as well as all the other members from BTS, are the strongest when they are with their group. Oftentimes, their solo projects do feel a little bit empty, and the reason why I feel that way is because I feel like this album and a lot of these solo albums really do miss the chemistry that all these guys have together when they're working on a BTS album. Needless to say, despite not having too much to really talk about or even unpack here, I will say that I did get a good amount of enjoyment from this album. It doesn't feel as anything too groundbreaking, especially compared to Map of the Soul 7, an album that I love quite a bit. So, unfortunately, I guess it's not too unfortunate, I'm giving this a strong 6 out of 10. For those who don't know my reviews, anything above a 5 is good, anything below a 5 is not good. So this means I like it. I think it's a solid project, a solid album. I don't have too much bad to say here. I just wish it gave a little more. That's about it for now. Agust D, D2.